Good morning, precious. Gotta get it back in the throat. How you doing, baby? Happy Thursday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya. Hit subscribe. Look at some of the videos. And if you see anything that you like, just hit share, please, and thank you. So today, y'all, a couple more manipulation tips. I know it was a debate. It was either I was going to talk to you about yourself, like, do you look back at how you were raised and some of the things that you were taught and the things that were instilled in you and what makes you who you are now? Like, do you ever think about, I was going to talk about that. I was, but I'm not today, so I ain't going to talk about, I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. Just because you're seeing now everything that's being poured into your own children. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. And now you're seeing the product. Because believe it or not, you put enough good ingredients in the pot. Meaning not manipulation tips, but other stuff. You have a great kid, right? But I'm telling you, if that baby mama and that baby daddy ain't on the same page and they not working with you, you can very well get the complete opposite of what you was trying to create. You can get the complete opposite, and you can get the things that you did try to put in at the same time. I know. And it ain't even got to be like that, right? Who just jumped in? Hey, Terry. So, guys, yeah, I had to go back to the old book. I still ain't. I'm going to get my book today, because I'm going to go to the office today and get my book. So I had to find the old book. So today I'm actually giving you 3. And it saddens my heart to do so. But typically, they kind of work hand in hand. I know, it's terrible. Because that's 3 more things that's being dumped on your baby and being uploaded on your baby every time they go over there to see these people. Every time these things. So you got to understand, this child is being robbed of a childhood. This child is being robbed of relationships that they should have, because this whole process is to turn them against them. Not just the mama and the daddy, but them. That whole that child loses a whole family in certain cases. My daughter got a grandfather who spent over 20-something years in Japan that's here. Just imagine the stories that he has to tell her about his adventures and about the things he's done and about his life. The bond and the relationship that they have to develop, because he was gone. The last time he was here was when I gave birth to her, so he was able to hold her before he had to fly back to Japan, right? She got siblings. She has a brother who is a phenomenal cook. And she loved to eat. So I'm quite sure those years that were robbed and taken from her, she would have loved to be here to experience his cooking, experience his laughter, experience just the relationship that you have with your brother. Like, she has an uncle who's a protector. He's been our protector ever since Jay been a little cat, always trying to put his chest out and want to protect his relationship, being deprived of. She has a sister that she admired, that she loved, that she looked up to, that she wanted to be like. Her sister's getting good grades, seeing me rave, shoot, I'm about to get them too. She seen her sister playing basketball and the crowd cheering. We went to her games and shit, my baby, I want to play basketball too. And she was good at it. Yup, she seen her sister play volleyball. She wanted to play volleyball. You should see my little baby was out there hitting that ball. Both my daughters running across, like, oh my God, my life was so beautiful. Like, it's hard to believe that she was miserable and unhappy, you know. It's hard to believe that, because all my days of her being in my life was filled with joy. Like, it wasn't too many days you're going to hear me say that I was having problems with my kids and they was getting out of hand. And I had a youth program. I nipped that in the bud early. Like I told you, when I started Kennedy was smelling herself. Like I didn't allow those certain periods and certain things that people would look forward to, not look forward to, but you know, things like when they say the girls, when they start smelling themselves, they gon', you know, they gonna give you problems. And they, like, a lot of that stuff I've heard before, and I already know. I know from being a girl, and then on top of that, the jobs that I've held, it put me in the homes of these different families. So the different dynamics, how people raise their kids, the stuff that's going on. So it helped me stay relevant about what's going on now, and it also helped me in my parenting because I knew things not to do. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't want to make the same mistake that these parents made. I don't want to do this and do that. So it's less likely that I'm going to have any rivalries in my house. It's less likely that I'm going to have competition in my house. So me instilling what I already know in my children, as well as what I'm learning from other people, and also the classes and the trainings I'm taking, like it was less likely for a lot of that stuff to go on in my house, and it didn't. Like my kids wasn't arguing and fighting. Like we had good days. Like we had good days. Like I have so many good memories of my baby being in my life. It's hard for me to imagine that she was miserable. It's hard to imagine that, right? But let me tell you what happens. Time for the manipulation tip. That other parent can make that child feel as if they are miserable, even if they're not. I know, that's the manipulation tip. They can tell the child how they feel and how they should feel. Yep. So that means when the conversation is held, when the baby comes over there, it's always talk about, I know you're not happy over there. I know you got to be miserable over there. The situation over there is this and that. Y'all don't have this. Y'all don't have that. Y'all don't. Which leads us into the other manipulation tip. Remember, I got to give you all three. Hey, Lena. Hey, Monty. Yep, they work hand in hand. They got to work together. Making a difference in the lifestyles, in the households. Making it seem like they have the better life. Our house is better. We have better furniture. We have 2 computer screens. We got the state of the art. Wow, wow, wow. We got the razzle dazzle. Over there, y'all ain't got all that. Y'all only got 1 computer. Y'all got old furniture. Y'all ain't got cable. We got cable. We got 100 different channels. We got. I'm just saying, you got some parents that try to make it seem like their lifestyle is so much more better than the other person's lifestyle. And you looking at a person who knows that all that materialistic stuff and money, all that don't make you happy. I know this to be true. I'm happy every day. I ain't got no money. Look. I ain't got no money. So I'm just telling you, it ain't about money. Like, you got kids that's fresh as hell, but they mad because the little kid in their classroom got shoes that probably light up or squeak or make noises. Like, they would have preferred, but that mama and that daddy who got something to prove or trying to show something that they got, or trying to do this and it might not even be all that. They might just like name brand stuff. I mean, I'm not tripping on you because I like name brand stuff. I like name brand. I like name brand stuff, so I ain't mad at you or nothing like that. But I'm just trying to say that don't make me happy. You know what I mean? All this stuff. I got some sunglasses that I bought from the Family Dollar for like $5. That's cute too. I might wear them tomorrow. Like that. I'ma still have the same attitude and energy though, even if I had them glasses. You know what I'm saying? So it don't. So I tried to raise a generation of children, or raise my own children, not to be caught up in that materialistic stuff, not to allow that to be the reason why you're happy. Like, try to find your own inner peace. Try to find your own central. You know what I'm saying? To where you're happy regardless. You know, you're just happy and thankful that you woke up. You know, and then let your day build from that. And this is what I preach. This is who I am. This is what they've been taught. So it's like, a kid can be happy in one house, but you can go to the other house, and instead of enjoying the happiness at that house, that parent can put so much on that child to where the misery is starting to build up now. So now when they come to your house, they're trying to unpack all of this that was just dumped on them from the other house, to where now when they come to your house, even though you went through so much trouble to make it a peaceful place, to make it a happy place, to make it a joyous place, to make it a place where children can still preserve their innocence, you got somebody on the other side that's dumping so much to where they're dirtying up the pond over here. You know what I'm saying? They introducing your children to things that you're trying to shelter them from. Things that you're trying to prevent is happening. You know what I mean? So it's like a tug of war, and it doesn't have to be. There's no way for 15 and a half years that my schedule and the structure of my home was designed to drop her off every Friday so she can be with her dad and his people in the summers and share her on the summers, as to where as soon as she moved in with him, there's no contact. The first thing that's going to come to mind is, what did you do then, Shakenya? Somebody slipped up and was talking to me and was like, damn, you made me think you molested her or something. And then they laughed about it. And I chuckled. And it didn't hurt because I didn't. You know what I mean? And I know I didn't. So to know that that's the level of thinking, and that's where the first place people go when they find out that she's not with me, or that she was taken from me, or that she don't live with me no more. And that wasn't even the case. But the fact that people can perceive certain things or come up with their own story and narrative, and then add on him not saying anything to defend me or the baby, it's a bad patch. It's a bad patch. I've only met maybe 3 or 4 mothers who are going through the same thing that I'm going through, where the dad has actually been successful in separating and destroying the relationship, to where the dad has sole custody, or the child only lives with the dad, and the mother is nowhere to be found. And these mothers are sound mind and body, good mothers that want to be mothers to their children, but because their reputation or their image have been so distorted by this individual, it'd be hard to do. It'd be hard to regain your name. Think about what I do and people I deal with. People trust me with their children. You know what I'm saying? My reputation is everything. My name is all I have. And he knew that. I'm sorry, guys. Damn, what was I telling you? I got what I was telling y'all. So we're going to just go back to the basics. Just to making a child feel a certain way. Just making a difference in the lifestyles. The difference in a lifestyle would be, because I know that's probably what I was talking about, the difference in lifestyle, how you try to make it seem like it's so much glitz and glamour in one place, and then you got the child feeling like when they come back to this place, it's not. But when the child was at your house, that child was happy. She was happy. Yeah, she appeared to be. Yeah, because it's not about all of that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's not about all of that at the end of the day. A lifestyle change would be if you live in a nice house and your baby mama or baby daddy live in like a shelter, or and homeless or something like that. Yeah. Lifestyle would be you have a house and full of furniture, nice and fancy, then the house they living in is falling apart and they ain't got no furniture. They sleeping on the floor. Like, you got food in your refrigerator, but when you go over here, they ain't never even got they don't even have no refrigerator. Like, stuff like, that's a lifestyle change. That's when you make a difference in the lifestyles. And then the next one that they kind of throw in there is if you have other children or something like that, they try to make it seem like this child is so much different than the family that they have over here. Like, they're so much better. They're better than. And usually when they try to make a child feel like they're better than, they use the materialistic things to make it so. Like, if I've taught my kids to be better, they better too. Sure. But I wanted them to be better in the sense of they do what's right when nobody else is looking. Better than, you know. They maintain them grades. Better than. My daughter's keeping their cooch to themselves. Better than. You know what I mean? Those were the things I was teaching them to be better than. Wasn't teaching them to be better than one another. I was teaching them to uplift each other and support each other, be there for one another. We all go. Yeah, it ain't just one going. We all going, right? So this is what I've taught them, that we were a team. So it ain't just one star on the player on the team. Like, yeah, he doing this and he doing that, but he wouldn't be able to do it if the right guard wasn't here, or if the linebacker or quarterback wasn't here, or if the other people were, you know, I don't know nothing about no sport. If the pitcher wasn't there tomorrow, like, I mean, I don't know nothing about it. But you know what I'm trying to say. It takes a team. It's never a solo mission. So my children were all raised to be equal in the sense of ain't no one better than the other. Ain't no favoritism going on. Ain't no you ain't the favorite child. Ain't no, y'all all on the same equal balance. We're a team, and we can't do it without one another. That's why when she was pulled out my house, it was so much destruction. Because everybody had to go on a solo mission, and it was like, oh my God, wasn't nobody prepared for that. Why? Because of the plan that I put in place. You got to keep in mind, I put a plan in place a long time ago. I trusted the process, and my plan was working. That's why the cleaning company is thriving. That's why the radio show is still going on. That's why the program, that's why you see me on the news. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. So the proof is in the pudding. All my receipts and everything is on the table. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to know or think or believe that this is even happening to me, right? So when you sit back and you think about these three being used all at the same time, you got to think about what's going on in that child's head. You got to think about that child. If you was a parent trying to preserve innocence, that ain't going to happen, because you got a child growing up right before your eyes faster than they should. Why? Because of the inappropriate conversations on this other side that's being held. So now you got a child that feel like they got to be grown now. They want to be fast. They want to be this. They want to be that. It's different with boys and girls on how they react and the adverse effect. But now I'm going to tell you, you got a kid that think they grown. You got a grown person living in the kid's body, because when they at your house, you treating them like a child, the child that they are. But when they go to this other parent's house, they being treated like an adult, unequal. So you having problems right there, I'm quite sure, as a result of that. So if you got a parent that's doing all those manipulation tips that we've talked about already, along with these three, yeah, of course, when that child come to your house, that child sad, because this child feel like you the reason why they going through all of that. Because if I wasn't in your life, I wouldn't have to hear it when I go over there. So now this child is starting to dislike you. And see, now it's starting to fester and turn into hate, because the child can't talk to you about it. Why? Because his parent told him, don't talk to you. Don't tell you nothing. So the child can't confide in you and tell you what's going on. So now the child just mad. Don't even want to be there. Don't even fix it, Jesus. So yes, these are the three manipulation tips. They're usually used hand in hand. Let me make sure I covered everything. Okay, we talked about you telling the child how they feel. Yeah, that's the same as when a parent coerces a child to say that they were being molested or they were being touched. Repetitive thinking, and you're just talking to the child over and over again, saying the same thing over and over again. So before long, the child is going to feel that, because in my mind, I told you she was happy in my house. My child had her own room. You know what I mean? Like, everything was going according to plan. When the boys move out, y'all had your own room. Y'all can do what y'all want to do with y'all room. So it was like the adventure that they had to paint their room. Like, she had the Tinkerbell theme one year, and Kennedy had a Hello Kitty / Victoria's Secret. I don't know what she was going through, but she was growing up. I can just say that. So she was in that little patch of being a little teenager going. So it was a Victoria's Secret, maybe almost there, but not there yet. So I'm still Hello Kitty. So we had the theme, and she painted stripes in her room, and the baby went for a more darker theme, and that's when I knew there was a problem, because her last room was a Tinkerbell theme. And it was flowers everywhere. It was bright neon green and pink. It was the Tinkerbell bed setting. It was, the green bed. So that was a Tinkerbell thing. Her dresser had flowers all over it. Why? Because I decorated it. I'm the Martha Stewart of the hood. So I decorated it. So she was so happy in the room. But then this choice of color in this room, it was more of a dark. She wanted it all black. She wanted You don't want no color? Like, what's really going on here? Yeah, so I started to see little signs around that time that something wasn't right. So I tried to encourage more communication. It was like pulling teeth. So I knew something was going on, but it still wasn't to the point where my home was destroyed and it wasn't happy. I still found a way, So we got to convince her to put a couple different color stripes on the wall. She was more hands-on with how to do it. So I started to see her come out. But you could tell it was something still trying to push her back in and keep her from us and put a distance there, and a wall was being built. I can tell, right? But if she would have been allowed to enjoy her childhood, she would have had fun at my house and enjoyed life, because we're not living in poverty. Yeah, we in the same... If you're in the same income bracket with your baby mama, your baby daddy, it is no lifestyle change. It's not a drastic change. Like, he drove foreign cars, so did I. He owned this house, I own mine. We're in the same district almost, I think. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how much of a difference can you really make? Yeah, I'm not in the desirable area of Detroit, but when I bought that property, I bought it for rental property, and I bought it because I knew that they were developing in that area, and I knew the property values that were going up in that area. So yeah, of course I didn't buy it to live in it, but when I broke up with my boo, shit, I got a crib with you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, and I moved my family into it, so that's where we are. And since I've been there, you see the pictures of the beautification that I've done with the property. Yeah, people ride past my house and ask me, am I the block club president? So it's not really where you at, it's what you do with what you have, you know what I mean? So yeah, these are 3 manipulation tips. Raising this child, first of all, if you're making a difference with the kids, because that was the second one, yeah, what difference are you making? If you're teaching a child to do this to the parent, you're raising your child to be disrespectful. You're raising your child to be thinking that they're better than their siblings, which is going to cause rivalry when they come back to your house. Yep, you're doing right when nobody's looking. That's the things that I said I wanted to be the difference in the kids, or making them feel like they're better than, making them feel, okay, yep, I covered everything. So, yep, telling the child how they feel. Yep, I know you don't like it over there. I know you wish you stayed with me. I know you wish you only had one house to go to. Making a difference with the lifestyle. Yep, they ain't really got nothing. You'll be better off if you was living over here, because I can afford to do this and that and the third. I can buy you this, I can buy you that. And the next one was making a difference in the lifestyles. In the children, in the families, in the kids, making a rivalry between the siblings. So y'all, that's it for Coffee and Conversation with your girl Shakenya, and I'm out. Who jumped in? Hey David, how you doing? Hey Mike, how you doing, baby? I'm out.